Hello, everybody. Welcome to Health and Hope Night. We are so excited to be your presenters tonight, to come into you wherever you're at, whether you're on your phone, whether you're at work, whether you're at home. Thank you for joining us for this incredible night, this incredible presentation.
So we just want to welcome you tonight. You've joined in, whether you're a coach or you're a client or you're a guest of someone. Thank you for joining in tonight. We're excited to be with you.
Well, we are independent certified health coaches, Optavia Health Coaches, Pat and Karen Schatzline, and we're super honored to be a part of the whole Optavia family. You know, this is a big night because here we are right in the middle of 2022 and you're joining us. And what we love about our company, what we love about everything that has taken place is we're seeing unbelievable growth and just people waking up that they can have lifelong transformation.
And so tonight we want to share with you one of our favorite things to talk about, and it's a healthy mindset. And that's what this is going to be about tonight. We're going to talk to you about being awakened to the secrets of lifelong transformation and how to decide to move forward in your health, and from people who have successfully created that in their own lives.
You know, I think we should tell our story, and that our story is something like this. Many of you may actually have the same type of story as us. And basically, we're in our 7th year being a part of Optavia. And I'll never forget, it was November of 2015. I was actually out in California. We were out in California visiting our kids. And I took a picture holding my grandson. And he's just holding it. And at that time, I was 72 pounds overweight. I was traveling the world, exhausted, weary, had been searching. I was a diet addict. I had tried everything. And I'll never forget, we got back to the hotel and here it is Thanksgiving and we're getting ready to go back over our kid's house. And I'm looking through the pictures, you know, just looking through, and I stopped and I froze holding my little grandson, Jack. And I thought to myself, if I don't change my life, if I don't take my health back, you know, I may not see him play high school football or like I watched my son, or college like I watched my son. And I think there was a moment where you have that personal awakening where you start realizing, you know what, man, you got to change. Love to work out, but I just wasn't healthy. And that was the shift. And it was about 2.5 months later that I found this amazing plan. Our coach, Corey Baker, introduced it to us, and I jumped on the plan and lost 72 pounds in about 6 months and began to take my health back. But then I began to realize in that process that it really is about lifelong transformation. Yeah. It's about not yo-yoing, but changing your mindset and shifting into this. And that's what we did. And so, but it was 9 days in and we became health coaches. But I want you to tell your story.
So when Pat joined and began to take back his health, I realized that this is something that I wanted to be a part of. And I had faced, you know, different things in my life, a hysterectomy, going through menopause and everything. So I had started gaining weight for the first time in my life. And I thought, because I was at that age, that, you know, that's just part of aging. So my mind had shifted from a healthy mindset to a mindset of settling and thinking that I had to just accept putting on extra weight, dealing with more health issues. So when I saw that the plan was working for Pat, I thought, well, I'm going to give this a try. And I had to change my mindset about health and realize that, you know, age is just a number, that we can live a healthy lifestyle no matter what age we're at. And so I immediately began to experience those changes, both in weight and mental awakening to what was truly possible.
You know, I'll never forget, as we began to step into this thing, it was about 9 days in, I started having all this crazy energy that I had not had in a long time, because we're both, I was 46 then, and we're both, Karen I'm 52. 53. And I didn't say because I know better. You know, we've been married for just over 31, but it's new every day, so I don't worry about dates. But here we are, we're grandparents, and we have done a lot of things throughout our life, but this so radically changed our life. And we're so excited you're on tonight, because you're going to hear about the 4 elements, or the 4 components rather. And you're going to hear about the, you know, one of our favorite elements, which is number 4 in just a moment. But I think it's time for a poll. So if you're on here, get ready. We're going to do a poll.
Ask you today, while you're watching, whether you're watching live or whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook or wherever you're at. If you're watching live, you can go ahead and do this poll, which we want to ask you, which answer best describes you? Are you a guest that have been invited onto this, or are you opt to be a client in the US or Hong Kong or Singapore? Or are you yourself an independent Optavia coach in one of those, either the US or Hong Kong or Singapore? So go ahead and do that poll. And if you're watching later in Facebook or on YouTube, just go ahead and put it in the chat.
Well, let me just go ahead and tell you what our agenda is going to be for tonight, so you can kind of have an idea. We're not going to go that long, but the agenda is, our ultimate goal tonight is to talk about mindset, being awakened to the secrets of lifelong transformation. We're going to talk about skill set, learning how to decide to move forward in your health. We're going to talk about action steps to move forward in your journey to optimal health. And, you know, one of the things that we've fallen in love with this whole plan, this whole process, and now we've been health coaches. Now we have a whole lot of coaches on our team, hundreds that we've been able to be a part of. I guess, you know, people always ask us, what's your favorite part about Optavia? Because we had a lot of friendships, but I just be honest with you, I love the community. This community has become, what do you always say about this community?
When we began on this journey, we realized that this was the community that we never knew that we always needed. It's been an amazing community of friendships, of building and growing together.
Well, it really is. And they're all of our best friends now. And here we are. Some of you may know this, watching this. We're involved deeply in doing ministry and a lot of other things. But this is our next. This was, you know, we came to that corner of destiny and circumstances, and we're like, okay, let's do this. Let's be a part of it. And I'm going to tell you who is critical to that. A man by the name of Dr. Wayne Scott Anderson, who is a very, very dear friend to us. He has walked with us through things. He's been our friend. We've dreamed together. And if you don't know who Dr. A is, that's what everybody calls him, as Dr. A, because maybe you've seen the Life book or the Habits of Health book, and we'll talk more about that. But he was valedictorian of his medical class. He trained in open heart surgery at Cleveland Clinic, 10th board certified critical care physician. This is just some of his resume of the leader that has been leading us for over 20 years. Surgical critical care director at Grandview Hospital, and, you know, department chair of anesthesiology for 18 years. And Dr. A and his wife, Lori, let me just tell a little bit of their story for a second, because I've heard it and I love it. And Dr. A spent so many years putting people back together, so many years catching them at the bottom of the waterfall. He always says that he decided, what if we could get people healthy before I have to open them up? And so he began to develop this plan, joined with a company called MetaFast, and which many of you may know this, for the 2 years in a row, second fastest growing company in the world, and a #1 health company. And when you begin to look at who we are, we're on the New York Stock Exchange. In fact, we just celebrated on Times Square 2 million lives that are changed. And when you begin to look at this company, it all started with a couple, Dr. A and Lori Anderson, who said, we can do better. So they joined, and then the Optavia brand came out of that, and everything that's a part of what we do. And it's so fun to be a part of it, because I just want to say one last thing about Dr. A. He's the real deal. And maybe you see him on the Habits of Health viewings, or you see him on the different websites and all that kind of stuff. He is the real deal, but he's also a brilliant leader. And so I just want to take a moment and share about him, because maybe you don't know the statistics about the worldwide statistics. I know this, that worldwide obesity has nearly tripled since 1975. An estimated 500 million adults in the world are obese. If unaddressed, an estimated 1 billion adults will be obese by 2030. For our family, this was a big deal, because I come from a family of folks with heart issues and diabetes, and so does Karen. Both of us do. And maybe we just didn't realize how life has been set up. And today, the way we are, fast paced, that so many people have forgot to take care of themselves. Dr. A talks about that. But go back to those statistics for me. Almost a third, 31% of adults with partners report that money is a major source of conflict in the relationship. Now, you know, we talk about the trilogy, and that's body, mind, finances, and we can help with that. And then approximately a third, 29% of Americans report delaying significant purchases because of debt. Now, we've all seen that, especially with where we are in our nation and where we're going through with prices and a lot of other different things, and coming out of this pandemic. On average, 30% of American adults' incomes goes towards paying off debt, excluding mortgages. That's pretty crazy, because it's almost like it creates worry. And I heard somebody say this one time: worry is like having a rocking chair on your neck. It just keeps coming back and forth. It takes you out of the game. It wears you out. It makes you old quick. It exhausts you. You know what I love about what we get to do? We get to help people take back their health. We get to help people begin to rethink differently with the habits of health. And we're going to talk about that in just a second. We get to help people dream again. You're going to hear from some incredible guests in just a moment, dear friends of ours that are part of our coaching organization that have begun to live again. It's push that dream button. I always say this: everyone deserves a chapter 2. For some of you, it may be chapter 4. And your past is not your prison, it's your university. This is your moment to step into a new destiny. We did. And it's incredible. It's radically changed everything that we do. So tell them.
Yeah. So after hearing all of those statistics and hearing those things, you think, well, what does Optavia offer us? And so I want to share with you really quick that Optavia has an amazing proven plan that we offer the secrets of lifelong transformation. And we have 4 components that we offer. We offer an independent health coach, an independent coach that will walk with you on your journey, that will walk with you all along the way. And they will walk with you as you go through the Habits of Health Transformational System, which is Dr. Anderson's life book and the Habits of Health System, an app that can help you all along the way, that will help you track your progress. It's an amazing tool that you'll want to implement into your journey. We also offer this amazing community that Pat and I just mentioned, the community that we never knew that we needed, but when we found it, they became lifelong friends. And then we also offer the fuelings, which are the way that we fuel our body in order to fuel it for energy, for health, for transformation. And so those are the things that we offer along in this journey of health. With all of those, you can dive into that life book to find the elements that are going to help you reach success in your life. And the one that we want to talk to you about today is a healthy mindset.
And I'm going to be honest with you, when this book right here, what I love about it is when Dr. A came out with this book, it allows you to answer questions. It allows you to grade yourself. And there's several elements in here that I love, of all the elements. And, the number 18 is all about, getting healthy motion, working out. I love that. It's kind of my hobby. But as I began to study this book, Dr. A took time and he said, okay, I'm going to give you, and it's big, it's bold, it's big writing. It's not hard to read. And as you begin to go through it, you begin to take yourself on a self journey. You begin to walk through this. And so Karen mentioned just a second ago, we're going to talk about element number 4, which is our other favorite, my other favorite, because this was my issue. And the element number 4 is building a healthy mindset. Can I just be honest with you? It's pretty toxic out there. Maybe you were raised in toxic surroundings or relationships, or maybe it seems like you've always been at war. This chapter, I think it's like 24 pages. It walks you through the journey of how to become that dominant force in your own life, how to take back your moments. You want to talk about that?
Well, because when we get a healthy mindset, it affects us in the choices that we make on a daily basis, the choices we make with food, the choices in how we react to our surroundings, to situations that come up in our life. And so what I love about Optavia is that it's not a diet. This is a health journey, healthy mind, healthy body, healthy motion, all of those things, healthy finances. So it is a total health journey.
Well, one of the things that I began to realize is when I was reading this chapter is that I had placed myself so many times, and Dr. A talks about the different levels, and we're going to get into that in just a second, but is it happening to me? Is it happening for me? One of the things you can, am I open about growing and changing my mindset, or am I closed off and defensive? I've often heard it said that, you can't teach old dogs new tricks. Well, that's actually not true. We can all change. We can all shift. And being that I was raised in kind of not always a good home environment, some of us have learned to live in defense mode our whole life. We're just ready to go at it with somebody. What this chapter does, it allows you to step back, to stop, to challenge, to choose. It begins to teach you about why your why is so important, how to stay focused, because honestly, so many of us, it even talks about different types of brain, levels of your brain. There's a Labrador area that I always talk about, or the lizard. Dr. A talks about that. I live in the Labrador. I just love to have fun. But it talks about how to begin to shift your mindset. And so I want you to think about this element number 4. Are you open with your growth mindset? Are you pretty much defensive? You just shut down. Let me encourage you with something. We talk about what's called the drama triangle. What is the drama triangle? Dr. A teaches this so well, and believe it or not, and basically it's a continual cycle of reaction to things that are going on around you in a negative way. You're always expecting the negative. It's being done to me. Then it goes to, it's not being fair. Or then all of a sudden, like, okay, wait a minute, I got to save the day. I got a hero. That this stuff can even flow into your coaching if you're not to be a coach. I'm enabling victims. I blame you, or them or myself. Who is at fault? It's the continual drama triangle of realizing anxiety, stress, living in that moment. You wake up ready to go to war, instead of realizing that that's so terrible for you, because it creates bad habits. It forces you to live in the bad habit room. You get hangry. You start eating things you should have never ate, or you start doing things, or you get thrown off your game. And it's about learning about these boundaries. And Dr. A actually talks to us about the drama triangle and the skill set.
So when you get caught in that drama triangle, it's really easy to become a victim, or to feel like a villain, or those things. But what we want to do is we want to move from that drama triangle to an empowerment triangle. And I love hearing Dr. A talk about the fact that there is our reactive brain. There's an emotional brain mindset. And then there's the actual that healthy mindset where you make decisions and stop, challenge, and choose. I was listening to him talk, and he was talking about when you feel like something is happening to you, then you become reactive and emotional. But if you'll stop, become self-aware of what is going on around you and in you, then you can maybe stop, take a deep breath, maybe take a drink of water, to give your mind a chance to catch up with what is going on around you. And then you can choose to make a decision on how you are going to act upon that situation rather than react to it. And this becomes bringing you into that empowerment mindset and that skill set where you become a creator of the story. I'm creating my new story. I'm in charge of what's happening. I help others. I empower others. I'm open and I'm curious to learn. And that comes to a place where you realize that the obstacles can in fact become the way. An obstacle is a means to grow. It's a means to learn, to be curious, to be open to how to go into a situation and be able to react to it in a way that's going to bring peace and clarity.
And one of the things that I love, as I begin to read through that chapter, I begin to realize that I spent most of my life reactive, just ready to go. And then now, we have these little things in our hands, and all we do is look at those all day long. And it's, we see people on this app or this particular app, and they're arguing, and we get in our little echo chambers. And instead of learning how to just step back and saying to myself, you know what, let's rewrite the narrative today. Let's rewrite someone else's story. Let's help someone begin to dream again and live again, and removing yourself from toxic environments and removing yourself by becoming that creator. I love that term. In fact, we have a room in our house here that says the creator room, where literally we go in that room and it's where we dream. We begin to think out. We begin to see, who can we help today? Not rescue, because we're not heroes, but who can we walk with? Who can we dream with? This chapter changed my life, because I was raised in reactionary mode and always ready to go. And bottom line is, everyone around you force them to live in your in the landfill of the landmines of emotion. Yeah. What are you going to be like today when you have a moment? So I hope you're getting this. Well, Optavia is not just about losing weight.
That's right. And I was going to mention that because we think so many times it's just about our bodies, and we spend so much time in the physical gym trying to work on our physical bodies, but sometimes we need to step over into the mental gym and work out those mental areas in our life so that we can become the best versions of ourselves.
Well, and there's so many that are desperate for what we call the shift, that intrinsic motivation, like something's got to change. And Dr. A talks a great deal about, our whole company does, about structural tension, how the old life is pulling on the new life when actually they're called to walk together and step into your destiny. And when some of you are watching this right now and you're like, I feel that structural tension. I feel it. I need a change. Hang with us, because you're going to hear some more stuff. But hey, it's time for a poll.
It is. And so we want to ask you, after hearing everything we've talked about, which of the 4 components are the most valuable to you? And you can see those on the screen. And again, if you're watching live, go in and answer the question of the poll. If you're watching YouTube or Facebook, go in and put it in the chat. In the components, which one is most valuable? The coach, the Habits of Health Transformation System, the Optavia community, the Optavia fuelings? I know for me personally, every single one of those has been valuable to me.
Well, each one for us has been different seasons when you begin to look at it and you begin to go through those polls. But I love being a health coach because we've been able to bring so many. You're going to hear about what it means to be a business leader. So many join with us. We love being a part of that. We love the gatherings. We love meeting together as a team in Atlanta for convention. We love all the fun stuff that goes on. And with that, I get the honor of introducing just 2 of our best friends. You know what's fun about this is when you start on this, you want to take everybody with you. You're like, hey, and it took a long time for them to say yes, but they're very dear to us, and they're family. We've been friends for over 25 years. We've traveled the world together, other continents together, and they're world changers, and they're incredible. They built an amazing team of coaches that are transforming a whole lot of lives and teaching people about lifelong transformation. And with that, I want to introduce to you, and they're going to take a moment and talk about the healthy body. And Jamie and Michelle Montero, are you there, guys?
We are, my friend. Thank you so much for just saying yes and introducing us to this plan. Guys, we are Jamie and Michelle Montero. We have been coaches going on 4 years. And I have to be honest with you. Our story is a story of true transformation. And it didn't start out that way. We first heard of Optavia almost 8 years ago, and we saw the plan and how it was transforming so many of our friends' lives, like Pat and Karen. We did life with them, and we saw them literally transforming before our eyes. But instead, I'm going to be honest, I simply dismissed it as a gimmick. Shelly begged me. She would beg me and beg me and beg me. Let's just try it. But my stubbornness and my ignorance continued to make excuses. Excuses like it's too expensive. You can't do this forever. You're going to lose your weight and then you're going to gain it back. Listen, it works for everybody else, but it can't work for our lifestyle. See, these excuses were just keeping us stuck where we had ultimately, where we were, and ultimately prolonged not only our current dismal reality, but kept us going down a path of devastation. And my thought process was, this program will help you lose weight, but you'll gain it all right back. I was the biggest critic there was until my reality and my desperation could no longer be ignored. We needed to do something before it was too late. My health was dangerously and drastically, rapidly declining. The years of crisscrossing this globe as traveling ministers while also owning and operating an electrical sign company, practicing terrible eating habits, living off of energy drinks just to cope and make it through the day, and then adopting, I'm talking even worse, sleeping regimens where I'd get maybe 2 to 3 hours a night. I needed to change, and I needed it now. I knew that I didn't need another diet. I had tried those and they had failed. I needed a plan. I needed a strategy. I needed to partner with someone not only that I could trust, but someone that it had worked for them. See, I reached out to our friends, Pat and Karen, and said, hey, listen, what are you doing? And through that conversation, it led us to this plan. See, we needed rigid structure. We needed constant accountability, but we also needed easy and convenient foods that did not just need to be prepared, but simply could go wherever I was, whether I was 35,000 feet up in an airplane or whether I was 150 feet up on a crane. I needed something that was quick and easy. But the truth be known, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm the pickiest human being alive when it comes to food. If it don't taste good, look good, I ain't eating it. And I remember thinking, man, I'm not going to do well on this plan. I'm not do well with these bars and shakes and mashed potatoes and things. And then all of a sudden I tried it and I realized, wait a second, man, these are good. But see, you combined not only the goodness of these fuelings, but I also had a desperation. I didn't care if it tasted like cardboard. I was going to eat it if it was going to help me get healthy, and it was going to help get some of this weight off, and it was going to help change the trajectory of my life. See, I said yes. And because I said yes, I was pleasantly surprised. We started our journey and I lost 61 pounds on this plan, and I've never looked back. And I am so grateful, not only for the fuelings, but I'm grateful for this plan that has changed and transformed my life.
And where do I even begin to start with this program? What this program has done for me, it has literally given me back my life. It's given me back my health. I never struggled with weight growing up. It was after having my first child that I began to have a downward spiral. I was a stay-at-home mom. I was raising 3 children, for the most part on my own. Jamie was traveling full-time, and I was exhausted. I would live off of coffee. I would have usually no breakfast. Lunch was always quick and easy. It was usually fast food. And then dinner time was never a healthy dinner. It was usually fried. It was, larger portions. And, and then from that point on, I'd get the kids to sleep and I would snack all night. And so, I really, really began I was just broken. I was broken on the inside. I was empty. I had nothing left to give. And, it's that quote that says, you can't pour from an empty cup, right? Well, that's where I was. I had nothing left to give. 4 years ago, when we started this program, I was at my heaviest. I was at my lowest. It taught me, as I began to jump into this program, it taught me how to properly fuel my body. The times that, eating every 2.5 to 3 hours, water intake, which I never drank water before that. It was easy. It was convenient. It was just what I needed, and it was goof proof. I couldn't mess this up. Because I was so desperate, y'all, I did not deviate from this plan at all. And because of that, I saw results. And I knew that this plan had to work because I started to get healthy. I lost 54 pounds, and it was not even what I lost. It was everything that I gained. All of a sudden, I began to love myself again. I began to love the reflection in the mirror. I felt good. I didn't even know I could feel that good at my age, and when you love yourself, when you begin to love yourself, you begin to love others. And I wanted to do everything that I could to pay it forward and to show people. And, I'm going to end with this. I remember it was probably about 8 months after we started the program, and I was just a new person. And I remember my oldest daughter, and I get emotional when I think of this, but I remember my oldest daughter walked up to me with tears in her eyes, and she said, "Mom, we finally got our mom back." And so this program, it's a life changer.
See, the fuelings, they're easy. They go with you wherever you are. They have the right amount of nutrients, minerals, vitamins, the calories. You don't have to calorie count. You don't have to figure out, what do I got to do? You don't have to meal prep. It's easy. And they taste amazing. And not only, see, the fuelings are only one part of the success of this plan, but they are an amazing part that will help not only launch you into a successful, healthy lifestyle, but they will also nourish you while you're getting there. Pat and Karen, thanks for letting us share.
Wow, you guys, hey, Jamie, y'all come back on for just a second, because I just want to, say to you, thank you for being authentic. Yes. Just then. Thank you for sharing your heart. So many times throughout life, we kind of start building up walls. And what we love about you too is the authenticity. Yeah. And by the way, now that you're coaches and you're coaching this massive team, you're also getting ready to build your house because you bought some land, right?
Yeah, we bought 7 acres here in Beulah, Colorado. And man, we've had to work hard over the last 4 years, and it didn't come easy, but we We just committed ourselves that we're going to be better than before. You get that before and after picture. I want to be better. I don't want to just be thinner. I don't want to just be skinnier. I want to be better. And so, yes, man, coaching has transformed everything for our lives.
Yeah.
So I love it because listening to you guys, I've heard the trilogy that Optavia offers: healthy mind, healthy body, healthy finances. And so if you're listening, Jamie and Michelle just shared how it was a complete transformation in their lives in all of those areas. So where do you fall? If you're listening, where do you fall in that trilogy wheel? Are you looking for a healthy body? Are you looking for healthy finances? Are you looking for a healthy mind? Those are the things that this plan will help you work towards, because we offer that opportunity to grow in every area. And when you work on all three of those areas, you become more centered in your life and you become more balanced in your life. And that is our ultimate goal, isn't it? To be healthy in all of those areas so that we can leave a legacy for our children and our children's children and be the best version of ourselves and show up in the best way possible.
I love the trilogy wheel, because when you begin to look at it, and that's right on the screen right now. I want you to look at this, and you're able to kind of just judge. Your goal is to be a 10 all the way around on the sides, and you want to be able to judge and say, okay, what in the world is going on in my life?
Yes.
In fact, one of the things you can do is you can begin to add this together. Am I doing physical activity? Am I doing healthy eating? Am I doing healthy sleep? And as you begin to look at this wheel, and you begin to, it's the 24-hour. A lot of people don't understand the little lines on the Optavia logo. Those are deliberate. They represent increments of time: healthy sleep, healthy mind, healthy body, healthy motion, all of those different things. And so with that, I want you to understand that it's time for us to take a poll. And wait a minute, I think we have some poll results.
We do, because we asked which one of the components are valuable to you. And we found across the board, people literally want that coach walking with them, the habits of health transformation system, a healthy community, and the fuelings. They all play such a massive role in your health journey.
Well, I think it's time for another poll. Let's put another poll. I don't know about y'all, but I love polls. And by the way, health coaches, learn to use polls, because people love to answer polls. It's a great way to hear where people are at. We use polls all the time on Facebook. And so here's the poll. Which area of the trilogy of optimal health would you like to improve? Now, this is going to be up for about 30 to 60 seconds. And so you need to improve your body, your mind, your finances. We needed all three when we first started. And so then it became methodical. We really began to shift our mindset, began to change our mind. It started with the mind, or started with the body, then it went to the mind, and then it led to some incredible finances that has changed our world and changed our children's world, because we've worked very, very hard with all the teams and with all those that are ready to run with us. And so I love that poll. So make sure you go on and answer it either on YouTube or on Facebook or wherever you're seeing this. If you're live watching it, and we'll give some answers in just a second. But next, we get a chance to bring on some dear friends. These guys, here's how crazy it was. I was sharing a before and after one day, and I shared it on Twitter, of all things. And I don't think I've done very much with that since then. But these dear friends saw it, and they said, we're ready to take back our health. And now, almost 5 years into it, if not 5 years, these guys have stepped in, and they're pretty incredible people. And they have a really cool organization underneath them, but they're really good at helping people establish their mindset. And so I've asked Clint and Liz Knowles to jump on, share for about 3 to 4 minutes, and they're going to jump in, and we want to hear from them. Clint and Liz, are you there? Talk to us.
Thanks, Pat and Karen, for letting us share. It was during the summer of 2016. I had just visited a cardio doctor, and I got a pretty negative and scary report. And I didn't like what I heard. It awakened me to the fact that my health was not going in the right direction. Fast forward to Thanksgiving that year, I went and hung out with some family, and we took a lot of pictures. And that night, as I looked through those pictures, I came to one awful conclusion. My health was terrible, and I was very obese. Because of that, I knew I had to do something about my health. I began to turn to social media, and you're exactly right, Pat. I saw a Twitter post by you that said you lost 72 pounds, asked you how. I reached out to you. You began to coach me. 7 months later, I'd lost 81 pounds, but what I gained was much more important. I began to gain a healthy mindset due to the fact that I was reading Dr. Anderson's Habits of Health. See, I grew up with a Southern mother, and in her home, it was the reward system. Clean your plate, and you could have a cookie, a brownie, or a piece of chocolate cake. That same mindset followed me when I became an adult. And Liz and I, we were pastors of a very large church. And when we had big events, if they went well, guess what? You would find me that day down at the local buffet. And that night, I was rewarding myself not with one piece of chocolate cake, but with two. That's the opposite is true as well. As a pastor of a large church, if things didn't go so well, if I was having problems or issues, then that night I was drowning my sorrows in a half a gallon of chocolate ice cream. My mindset was bad, but because I learned the habits of health, I was able to dismiss those mindsets from my life.
It's true. And when we started this program in January of 2017, I wasn't excited at all. In fact, I didn't want to do it, but I saw how focused Clint was, and there I was at the heaviest I'd ever been at 195 pounds, and I'm barely 5'2". I realized I needed to join him in this journey and do this right. What happened for me is by May of that year, I had hit a 27-pound loss. That was incredible for me because in my mind, I thought, if I could lose 25 pounds, then this program will work for me. At the end of that year, my middle son was getting married, and I had hit my goal of a 45-pound weight loss, and I was able to wear a dress that I just never thought possible. During this process of hitting my goal of 45-pound weight loss, I discovered that my unhealthy habits had basically controlled me and controlled my mindset. And that was, I had a poor relationship with food, and I had a terrible sugar addiction. But the habits of health taught me how to overcome all of these cycles. And now I've stayed at my optimal weight. But because we transformed and people were beginning to notice, in our church that we were pastoring, that we were losing weight, we decided, with the encouragement of Pat and Karen, to pay it forward and begin to help others as well. And so with commitment and hard work, we developed our own coaching business. And now it affords us a dream that was in our heart, to be able to fully support both of our widow moms. That was just an amazing accomplishment for us, as well as we're able to take amazing trips, vacations with our family, and just that feeling of peace, enjoying the simple pleasures in life because of financial independence. On our journey, we've not only achieved a healthy body, healthy mindset, but we have also achieved healthy finances as well. Thank you, Pat and Karen. It's been an honor to share.
Wow.
Guys, thank you so much. It's incredible. I'm just telling you, guys, I love our community and I love our team, and I love how we've all stepped in. In fact,
Yeah.
I think, what's next?
Well, you know what? We asked you about which area of the trilogy was most important to you. And across the board, I believe that all of those things matter in our health journey: healthy body, healthy mind, healthy finances. And so many people put that those things are so important to them. And what I love is that as you're on this journey, that people are going to start to notice. They're going to start to notice what's taking place in your body, what's taking place in your mindset, what's taking place even in your finances on this journey. So when people begin to ask you about your transformation system or what you're doing in your life, all the changes that's been taking place, you're going to have two options to be able to tell them, because you may be at work or with your family gatherings and people are saying, what are you doing? I noticed that it's so much more peace, you're calm, you're losing weight, you're doing these things. Well, you can either refer them to your coach to be able to coach them because you've experienced such an amazing time with your coach, or who better to coach those people on the same health journey than you, your family, your neighbors, your coworkers. They know you, they trust you. And how amazing it would be for you to be on that journey with them, holding yourself accountable to your journey, and also with an amazing mentorship team, your coach helping you.
Pay it forward. I'm telling you, listen, we're all called to change lives. We're all called to help and lead others. Listen, I'm just telling you, there's nothing more fun than becoming a health coach with all that comes with it. And with that, it also allows you to just do life with some really cool people. And we're going to hear a couple of more testimonies. We're going to be wrapping up, just a couple of more stories, but these two are two of our favorite people. In fact, we text every day. They are dreaming big dreams. They are dreaming big dreams on how to transform lives, how to lead their life financially through Optavia. And one of the things that we talk about in the trilogy is healthy, body, healthy mind, healthy finances. And with that, JoJo and Autumn Dawson, would you jump on and share your heart for a moment? These two are pretty amazing. They're coming from Texarkana, and we love doing life with you guys. Go for it.
All right. First of all, I just want to say thank you, Pat and Karen, and just thank you, Optavia family.
I'm Autumn Dawson, and Joe and I are independent Optavia coaches, and we're so excited to be with you today.
Probably about 5.5 years ago, my friend of 15 years, Pat, called me up and said, Joe, you want to jump on this program with me? I said, you know what? I'll get back with you. Unfortunately, it was 2.5 years later, after a very successful lower double hernia surgery. I knew that after I had a successful surgery, I wasn't there for my wife and kids like I needed to be. So I called Pat up and I said, man, I want to do this health program. He said, and you're going to coach because you love people so much. And I said, all right, well, let me think about it. So jumped on the program, ended up losing 55 pounds, started coaching right when I started the journey, because after 2 days, I was energetic again. And so jumped on the program and started talking to everybody about it. When I believe in something, I am going to tell people about it. And so as I kept going, I was talking to different friends, and I kept feeling better and better. And let me let you know this right here. This program just keeps getting better and better as you do it. And so I understood this, that when you get your body healthy, that's good. But when you start walking in wellness, that's even better. And then your mindset starts changing. And when your mindset starts changing, everything in your life becomes better. And then the company started sending us compensation. So we had a healthy body, our mindset is still changing, and we are walking in healthy finances. We've been coaching for 32 months, and it gets better every single month.
Although I didn't have a whole lot of weight to lose, I was so inspired when I started seeing Joe lose the weight. And not only, like he said, did he lose weight, all of a sudden, all this energy, he began to be so energetic, and his mindset was shifting. And then he also started dreaming again. And so I decided, I'm going to join you and try this out. That's exactly how I felt. And I ended up losing 23 pounds. And I started doing things like being able to fit back into my high school cheer uniform. I also put my wedding dress back on after being married for 20 years. I couldn't believe that I was able to get that weight off and feel so good. I didn't want to take a nap when I came home from work every day. It made such an impact in my life. But one of the biggest things that I lost was the weight of other people's opinions. You see, I began to dream again. I began to change my mindset as I grew and I got healthy on the inside. See, we were always dreamers before, but we did not have a vehicle in order to get to those dreams. And see, the gift of coaching became that vehicle for us to get to the dreams and the goals that we had in life. We realized that not only were we able to make an impact in people's life and walk with them on their health journey, but we were also able to make an income. So we learned that with hard work and with diligence and dedication and helping lots of people, that we could get out of this thing called survival mode, where we were just making it, and into the place where not only could we bless our family, but we could also become a help to humanity. And that was our goal, to be able to help out humanity. And this gift of coaching was also something that we could pass down to our children once we leave the earth. And so that was something that was very important to us. And so just some things that reinforce your decision to become a coach is that you get to have that accountability in your own health. And it's so important as we pay it forward, we get to make a difference and walk with people on their journey in their life. And it's so fun and so rewarding to see people hit those goals, to see them get confident again. And one of the greatest parts of being a coach for us has been the compensation, that currency of goodwill, that we can fulfill those financial needs that we had as a couple, but also some goals that we had and some dreams that were in our heart that we could also leave a legacy for our children.
Whenever we started coaching, Pat said, let's dream together. So we started dreaming on the phone. And he said, where you want to be, you can be in 5 years if you work hard. So what we did is we said, we're going to put our head down and we're going to go to work for 5 years. We disenabled the brakes. We have no brakes, foot on the gas. And after 32 months, we're on track to get to where my coach, Pat Shatzline, says I can be in 5 years. And when this video is over, we're going to get up and we're going to go move into our dream home because we've worked hard for 32 months. Autumn designed the home. It's custom built with 2 Optavia offices in our house and a small gym because we're going to make sure that we take care of our personal health, our mindset, and our finances. Pat and Karen, we love you so much.
Oh, I
Dang,
love
that's just
that.
good. Y'all just fired me up. I'm telling you the truth. You guys are our family, your friends, you're special to us. And listen, they said it. They've worked hard.
That's right.
They dream big dreams. They live out loud. They show
That's
people
right.
how this plan can transform your life. And here's the deal. There's what we call our progressive. He mentioned the process, our progressive growth model. And that's, you become a health coach. And you know what that means? You just sign up and you start helping some folks and you buy your kit and you say, okay, I'm going to start supporting some clients. And then as you start acquiring clients, they start having incredible results because that's one of our hot 6 is we see great results. And then they become a coach. So then you become a business coach. So you're a coach that's coaching coaches and clients and coaches. And then you become a business leader. And that basically means that, you work with clients and you build teams of coaches. You have this depth. Optavia is really good at teaching you how to grow your teams. And bottom line is, it's not some gimmick. It is all about results oriented. People actually transform their life. There's a reason why we are number 2 years in a row in Forbes in the world for fastest growing companies, because people are ready to get healthy. And so with that, 2 of our favorite people, and we're going to wrap this up here in just a moment, but they have a pretty cool story. And I'll never forget, we're riding down the road. I was visiting them in their city and they were becoming new friends of ours. And they have a crazy past. I don't know if you've all got perfect past, but a lot of us don't. And these guys actually have a past with addiction and a lot of different things that happen in their life, and deep addiction to narcotics and a lot of other things. And they began to get free of that several years ago. And their story is pretty cool because they were stuck in a vicious cycle. And so then they got free of being addicted to things. And then a few years after that, we met and they decided to take their health back. And so I want them to share their story because they have also seen just incredible financial shift. And that's Ryan and Leah George. These are 2 of the coolest people we know. They're down there in West Florida. Guys, would you jump on for about 3 minutes, share your heart, and then we're going to bring this to a close in just a second.
Get back, Karen. Yep. Together we lost 114 pounds, but gained so much more than just losing the weight. Like Pat said, we are ex-drug addicts. We've had 10 years in active meth addiction. I have 13 and a half years of clean time, and Leah has 3.5. After coming off drugs, we sought comfort in food when dealing with our emotions. We didn't understand what a healthy relationship with food looked like until starting Optavia. Once on the program, our mindset shifted in our relationship with food from comfort to fueling our bodies for our activities. Optavia and what this program has to offer has radically changed our lives. We knew we had to pay it forward, so we began coaching. We initially just wanted to pay for our boxes. However, once we started coaching, we realized the possibilities were so much greater.
Yeah, see, coming from our past lifestyles, we didn't know we had the capability to be successful in life. We lived in a closed mindset that our lives would always be just the way it was and nothing would ever change. We believed that we would always live paycheck to paycheck and barely getting by, but that was not the truth. With hard work, diligence, skill, and persistence, we were able to take back control of our finances and set our life on a total different trajectory. There are 3 major financial accomplishments this past year alone. We've only been coaching for 14 months. One, we paid off all my old debt and my credit score's improving. We were able to take our children on a vacation without any financial assistance from family. And 3, I was able to purchase my first brand new car. And these may seem like small wins for some, but for us, they were major accomplishments. We love being health coaches. What we love too the most about some of this is that we get to walk alongside so many others on their health journey. We get to see people's lives transform for the better. That in itself is so rewarding to us. We used to ruin families by selling drugs, and now we get to be a part of helping people to better health.
You know, we have started to dream again. Since changing from a closed mindset to a growth mindset, we have big dreams for our lives and for our children's lives. We're so grateful for our mentorship in the coaching community that pushes us to be the best that we can be for ourselves and for our clients. Pat and Karen, thank you for letting us share.
Guys, your story is pretty powerful, and we love that.
Joy.
And, you know, guys, we get ready to wrap this up today. Thank you, too, for being so authentic and so real. And it just really, you know, it serves our heart. That's what this community did. It brought us all together.
That's right. That's what it's all about.
So let's wrap this up with how does it work for coaches? How do you step into that? You know, it's relational model. It's what we just talked about right there. Friendships. You can, focus on optimal well-being. Some coaches become, self-employed over time, independent, full-time, part-time. How do you dive in? It's a low startup operating cost. It's flexible. We love the hours that we have. You can do it from anywhere. We have coached. I did a share call with someone sitting on the teacups at Disney World one time. Literally, as we got off that, somebody says, "I'm ready." There's no quotas. There's no monthly weird thing that you have to buy a certain amount. None of that kind of stuff. You get training. We always say there's 3 guidelines for becoming a coach. And that we always say is if you want to be on our team, just number 1, show up. Right. Number 2, lean in. And number 3, be willing to brand yourself and help others.
And so you might be watching this either live, Facebook, YouTube. Either way, right now, if you think this is something that I can do, how do I start my journey? It's simple. All you have to do is reach out to the person who invited you to watch this. Just reach out to them and make the decision to incorporate the trilogy of optimal health to help you reach your goals. And jump into all that Optavia has to offer. All you have to do, reach out to that person who invited you because they cared enough about you to share this gift with you.
It's pretty fun. We love doing this. Hey, we've been honored to be your host tonight. And this is an incredible opportunity to be a part of. People are ready for change. Remember, don't ever get in that drama triangle.
That's right.
Instead, step out and begin to realize that you can transform lives. This has been so much fun. We love being a part of this community. Hey, thank you so much for joining tonight. Have an incredible, incredible night.
At Optavia, our mission is to offer the world lifelong transformation, one healthy habit at a time. The previous audio contained the